Part 2. Let's finish this video up. First of all, let's take a look at what we've created from the very beginning. A couple of things. First of all, I think it's going to be important to put like the date here of the 2025 Superman, because like we highlight the 1978, but it's a little bit confusing at this point. I'm going to select our text, put 2025, and I'm going to lower down the layer. Let's make it white. And for the font, let's put Tasker. You are free to download this font. It's free. You can find it online. And I'm going to cut it over here. And I'm going to parent this to null number 1, the null that controls this huge zoom in. Great. Okay, then I'm going to press Command K to increase the time of the composition. So let's set it to like 15 seconds. This is the part that goes out. Okay, so we can cut this part over here, because it's out of the frame at this point. Then we have the trick, and let's do it like so, and shorten this one. Let's increase the length of the white solid, which is the background for us. Let's take a look at what we have next. That's motion graphics. I have an idea of how I want to present this. Basically, I want to create a shape that's going to act as a track mat, and we will reveal text with this shape, and we'll reveal it in an interesting way. So we're going to reveal these next two lines by using this shape. So let's create the shape. The shape is going to be rounded rectangle. So I'm going to deselect everything and I'm going to draw it. We will definitely have to customize it. So we'll put it in the very middle for now. And I'm going to cut it. I'm going to first create this part, and then I'm going to connect it to the previous, basically to connect this and this. Let's make this black. Let's come to contents, rectangle path. Let's select all of this. Let's select, actually, we don't need the position. So we need the size and the roundness. We have two keyframes, and here I'm going to set the roundness to 0. And then for the size, okay, let's keep. Actually, we do need the position as well. Okay, so we will put everything in the middle. Great, so this is how we have it right now. Let's copy this. That's motion graphics. I'm going to create a text layer, and I'm going to write it over here. SF Pro. Let's set a regular medium. Okay, let's delete this. Start from the very beginning. I found that there is a problem if we go from Tasker to SF Pro, so just it's better to set the SF Pro from the very beginning, and then when we put it, it's good to go. So let's put it in the middle, make it a little bit smaller. Let's do like the font size 65. Then I'm going to cut it around here, and now we need to customize the size. I'm going to disable proportional sizing, and let's change the position. Actually, let's change the position of this one so that it's in the middle, like so. In terms of the size, let's decrease the horizontal size so we have it in the middle. This part is in the very middle as well. Great. Now one thing we'll do is we will track mat this text to our shape, and we will make our shape visible as well. Now the interesting part about this is that when we, let's say, move, we will have our text appear only when we have the shape. Actually, for this part, we can even do like the linear wipe effect. Instead of animating the size and the position, let's do a linear wipe effect. Linear. And actually, we already have it here for this one. So we can just go ahead and copy this effect from here to here. Great. Let's just press on U, and we will go from 100 to 0. Actually, maybe we don't need 100. Let's go from whatever this is. When I'm just finding the point where it disappears completely, so it's actually 82 instead of 100. The reason why I'm doing 82 and not 100 is because basically it starts from the side of the screen, it starts from here, and we don't need it to start from here because there's going to be like a little delay. You will see that, you know, it takes some time to get from here to here, and we don't want it. So that's why we're doing it. And the same thing in the end, right? We need to find a point where it's fully visible. So it's at 17. That's motion graphics. Great. I'm also going to come to the graph editor and I'm going to smooth it out a little bit, like so. And I'm going to let's select this one and speed it up a bit more. Actually, I'd like to go to the graphics and make it even smoother, like so. So we have that's motion graphics. And by the way, I'm going to press on P and I will move it a little bit higher because we're going to have text a little bit lower. The reason why I'm able to move the position of the shape layer, even though we have it keyframed, is because we keyframed specific shape within the shape layer. So let's take a look. I know it might be a little bit confusing. Let's open the shape layer. So we have the shape, which is rectangle, and we keyframed the position of the shape itself, but then we can also animate the whole layer. So under this layer we can have multiple shapes, and this is the reason we're able to move this position and have this position separately animated. Let's select the other text, learn After Effects step by step. I'm going to duplicate this text, press on P, move it a little bit lower, paste the text in. It's still going to be track matted. Basically, it's the same effect. And at this point, we need to make it a little bit smaller, so that it's roughly the same size as the text above. It's one of the ways that kinetic typography, or just in general typography, works is when you have text the same size, it just looks beautiful. And we'll see that in a second. So that we have different sentences, it's going to be different sizes in terms of like the font, but it's going to be aligned, so like boxed, and it's going to look very, very beautiful. So we need to go to our shape, and I'm going to increase the size to something like this. I'm going to come here, press on Command R to open rulers, set a ruler over here exactly to where the top of that is, and for the position I'm going to lower it down, like so. Actually, we need to decrease the size a little bit because it's too much. I'm just trying to see that this space at the top and at the bottom is the same, so we need to decrease the size even further. And for this part, let's increase the roundness slightly, and also let's decrease the font of this text and potentially move it just a little bit up. And now I'm going to move it further, and let's do Fn, F9. Now let's add the last text, which is "and start creating today, link in bio." Actually, I quite like the animation we had here, and because we have very similar setup with the arrow. Okay, so why don't I just copy these, everything with nulls as well. So duplicate everything with nulls. Now it should work if I just put it over here. Press on A to select the anchor point. And let's change the anchor point of one of the nulls. Let's select one of the nulls and this text, and we will be able to move it. Okay, let's see. Here in the very end, instead of having the word trick, actually we can just increase the length of this to, let's say, 16 seconds, and increase the length of this so that we have the animation, this animation, and now we can start animating today. I'm going to select this text and put it in the middle. Link in bio. Let's see. So now we need to go from here to here. I have a couple of thoughts in my head. Let me just put it together and then I'll give you an explanation. Okay, so I created a solid layer and I was able to just move it from the top. So I just find the point until it's just out of the frame. Then I make sure it just comes back to kind of its original position, which is 540 by 1960. If you ever forget this, you can always just create another solid, put a keyframe for that solid, and then put the keyframe a little bit later, create the first keyframe, and then just move it out of the frame. Exactly what I did. And now for this part, actually, it would be great to change the text, basically change every single text color here. So for the shape layer, we are going to select Y. For the texts, we are going to make it, let's do black, but for these three, we need to actually make it white. So basically the opposite. Let's take a look. Okay, I would like to move all of this to start a little bit faster. I want to delay this arrow and movement down to a little bit later. So as I understand, I can just copy all these keyframes and move it a little bit later. Let's see the arrow. Let's press T, Shift T, so that we have the position and the opacity at the same time. I'm going to add a keyframe of 100, put it around here, and here I'm going to put it at 0 so that we actually don't see it. When we have the animation here, because it's exactly fitting here, it's not a problem, but when we do it a little bit further, I think it's going to be better to do it like this. Let's see everything from the beginning, and then we'll see what we can do about this. Okay, I like everything aside from this part needs to happen faster. So everything we have here, we just need to move it a little bit to the left. Okay, great. And now we need to move everything a little bit faster even here. That's motion graphics. I feel like it's important to emphasize and have 2025 appear because right now it doesn't appear. So let's put a keyframe for opacity, and here let's set it to 0. Let's see. I know what we can do here. We can just change a couple of things, basically change the formatting of the text slightly, because the text looks, it's all kind of the same, and we want every single layer to be slightly different so that we can know that it's different. Otherwise it just looks like it's just one big piece of text. And potentially we just need to move this thing up a little bit. So if we change the position of this so that there is a bit more space, it's a little bit more. Let's try to add a couple of effects, for example, like glow. Link in bio, I'm going to search for glow. Let's copy this glow and paste it everywhere, aside from link in bio. Let's see. Maybe we should get rid of this glow. Maybe we shouldn't add it to everything. So let's just add it to the bottom text. We'll select this and this and paste it in. Let's see if there's anything anywhere else we can add it. For example, like here for this text. Thinking to be original. Nope. Let me come here, and for link in bio, I'd like to make it a slightly different color. So slightly, maybe like a blue, maybe darker blue, lighter blue. So this blue. If there are any ways that you would like to improve this video, if you have any thoughts, please welcome in the Q&A section below. But other than that, let's export this video. So I'm going to go into File, Export, Add to Render Queue. I always recommend people to set high quality with alpha, because if you have something transparent, it's going to be transparent. If nothing is transparent, it's not going to be transparent. So these are the best settings that I found to work for me, and I recommend it to use for you as well. So high quality with alpha, just set where you want to save the video, press on save, press on render. let's render. Stop. Wait. We forgot to add motion blur to all of this. This is going to be even better. Okay, now let's export it. So export at the render queue. I'm going to just delete this. I'm going to override the main com, replace, render, press OK. Let's see the final render in the next video with motion blur. If you have any questions, let me know, but other than that, I'll see you in the next video.